Good morning, class. Welcome to the live online classes. This is a continuation of chapter number 1, History and Study and Sources, part 2. Okay. Today we are going to do divisions of the past of mankind. In the last class, I have taught you archaeology. Okay. Now, in the divisions of the past of mankind, okay, we are doing, this is also known as period of history. Okay. On the basis of the written records found on the earth, the past of mankind is divided into 3 main periods. Okay. So the divisions of the past of mankind is divided into 3 main periods. P-E-R-I-O-D-S periods. Okay. They are known as P-R-E-H-I-S-T-O-R-Y, prehistory. Okay. Then P-R-O-T-O, proto-history. Then, okay, number 1, number 2, and number 3 is known as H-I-S-T-O-R-Y, history. Now, you can see divisions of the past of mankind is divided into 3 main periods, okay. It is known as prehistory, proto-history, and history, okay. The period of the past of mankind for which no written records are available is known as prehistory. So, during this period, okay, we don't find any written document or any writing or any, okay, what we call, okay, books, okay, that has been written about this period, okay. So, the period of the past of mankind for which no writing is found or no written record is found is known as prehistory, because prehistory is the history of the period before writing was invented. Remember that. There are no written records, okay, or clues or records of the past of this period. We get knowledge or information about prehistory through archaeological sources. So, we are studying about this history first, okay. So, we get information about this period, okay. We get information about this period through what? Through archaeological, archaeological, S-O-U-R-C-E-S, sources means evidences. Last time only I have told you, these are known as evidences, okay. So, we get knowledge or information about prehistory through archaeological sources like what? What kind of archaeological sources we find? We find tools, okay, weapons, fossils of animals and plants, okay, or fossil rocks, okay, pots, coins, and also historical monuments, okay. Now, we are studying about prehistory. Therefore, we are concentrating our, okay, divisions of the past of mankind in prehistory first, okay. So, when we are looking at prehistory, during this period, no written records are available, okay, and we depend on the information we get from the archaeological sources. According to that archaeological source, okay, prehistory is divided into 4 periods. It is divided into 4 periods. So, prehistory is divided into 4 periods, P-E-R-I-O-D-S periods, okay. The first period is known as, okay, the Stone Age. The first period is known as the Stone Age, okay, which started from circa, okay, or C dot, okay, it's written as C-I-R-C-A, circa or C dot 500. Now, what does this C dot means or circa means, okay? It means approximately. It means approximately or roughly or around, okay? Around during this period it means, okay? So, it is a Latin word, okay? Frequently also used as CA. It is also called CA, okay? Dot, okay? Or C dot. Are you getting my point? It is also used as CA, okay? It is also used as, okay, CIRC, circ also, okay? Circ, okay? Or CCA. But these words are not frequently used, okay? These 3 words are not frequently used. But 1, 2, 3 types are used in history. Remember that. So, Stone Age started from, okay, C dot 50,000 BC, okay? 50,000 BCE, that is before Common Era, to C. 4000 BCE. So I'm coming to BCE. BCE means before Common Era, okay? And after Stone Age came the Copper Age. It came the Copper Age, okay? Then came the Bronze Age, okay? It came the Bronze Age, B-R-O-N-Z-E, Bronze Age, okay? And came the Iron Age. It came the Iron Age, okay? First, okay, the first metal to be discovered was copper, then bronze, then iron, okay? Remember that. So, this period has been defined or, okay, basically, okay, leveled, okay, into different, okay, periods, okay, according to the, okay, metal discovered as well as the periods, okay? It started from 50,000 to 4,000 BCE, and 4,000 BCE to 3,000 BCE is Copper Age. Bronze Age is from 3,000 BCE to 2,000 BCE. But Iron Age started from 1500 BCE. So during this period, people started making tools and weapons of iron, okay? So prehistory is divided into 4 periods. Now, we are coming to what is known as, okay, 50,000 BCE, etc., okay? It's like BCE, okay, and CE, BC, AD, okay? What does it mean? So, I'm just going to rub this blackboard so that I can explain you the time in history before going to further discussion about BC and BCE. So we are studying about time in history. It is in the divisions of past only, okay? Time period is an important feature of history. So we are talking about time history means time period, okay? Various events have been taken place in history at a particular point of time. So various events or inventions or discoveries has happened in the past in a particular time in the past. But how do we describe the time period for an event that has taken place thousands of millions of years ago? To solve this problem, the birth of Jesus Christ has been taken as a starting point. So the birth of Jesus Christ has been taken as a starting point, okay, and all other dates related to it. These dates are expressed in BC or AD. So they are expressed in BC or AD. Okay? BC stands for before Christ and refers to the time period before Christ was born. So BC means before Christ was born. These dates are counted backwards. So BC are counted backwards. Okay, I'm coming to this, okay. For example, 500 BC comes before 499 BC, okay. 500 BC comes before 499 BC. So 500 BC comes before 499 BC. Remember that, okay. And 326 BC comes before 226 BC. And likewise. So AD is a short form of 2 Latin words known as Anno Domini. It is known as A-N-N-O, Anno, D-O-M-I-N-I, Domini. Remember that, okay? Meaning in the year of the Lord. But BC means before Christ was born. But AD means Anno Domini, in the year of the Lord, that is Lord Jesus Christ. It refers to the time period after the birth of Jesus Christ. So AD means after the birth of Jesus Christ. But BC means before the birth of Jesus Christ. But this is counted forward. AD is counted forward. Remember that. For example, AD 546 will come after, okay, AD 545, okay. So AD 545 is basically written first, then comes AD 546. Remember that, okay. Sometimes BC is also used instead of BC. So BC is also used instead of BCE, okay. Sometimes BC is used, sometimes BCE is used. What is BCE? BCE is known as before Common Era. And AD is used, okay. Instead of AD, we can use also CE. Instead of AD, we can use CE. CE means Common Era, okay. So these things you have to know, okay, in order to learn, okay, history and its time periods. Now, after prehistory, we are going to study about the second period or the divisions of past of mankind. After prehistory, we are going to study that after prehistory, which period comes? It comes is proto-history. So we are going to study about proto-history. What is proto-history? Proto-history refers to a period between prehistory and history. So if you look at this board also, okay, you can see prehistory is the first period, second is the proto-history, the third is history. The third is history. Now, I want to read the definition. Proto-history, so proto-history refers to a period between prehistory and history, during which a culture means traditions, passed on from generation to generation, belief, knowledge, etc., which has been passed on from generation to generation, and civilization, human society began or was in the phase of development. But in this period also you find no writing was developed. What it means was writing was not invented. Here also invention of writing was not there. So no invention of writing. Here also same thing, no invention of writing. Are you understanding? So history is the period that begins after the invention of writing. So when we are looking at the third period, okay, we find, okay, that, okay, there was invention of writing. So invention of writing began during this period. So during this period, there was invention of writing. Remember that. No writing was during this period, no writing was invented during this period. No writing was invented during this period, no writing was invented during this period. But during this period, writing was invented. So from this period, we come to know about, okay, certain things from the literary sources. In this period, we depended on archaeological sources. In this period also, we depended on archaeological sources for information about the people who lived in the earliest past. But from this period, we can look at archaeological sources also as well as literary sources. Now, literary sources means anything that has been written down in a book. In other words, the period of a past for which we have written records is called history. So, we had written records, okay, during this period. Therefore, it is called history, like writings on the rocks, pillars, okay, clay tablets means made of mud, okay, what we call a stone slab made of mud, copper plates and palm leaves. So in the olden times, people also used to write in the leaves, okay, so in order to store their documents, okay. So from this period onwards, we find documentation, okay, existed, okay. So, after the invention of paper, it became easier to maintain written documents like historical records. Man started compiling handwritten books known as manuscripts. So, from this period, we come to know we had manuscripts. Manuscripts are handwritten books, okay. It has either been written on the rocks, pillars, okay, clay tablets, or leaves of animals, or leaves of trees and skins of animals and birds, okay. Thank you for listening, okay. Now we are moving on to another sources of history, okay. Let me tell you something about these sources first, okay. Little bit I want to tell you, okay. Now we are going to the sources of history, which I will be teaching you in the next class, okay. Sources of history, okay. If you have the books, you can refer to it, okay, when I come to the next class, okay. So sources of history. Historians make use of many sources to build the past, or to create the past, or to reconstruct the past. These sources can be divided into following groups. Okay, these sources of history can be divided into following groups. It is known as archaeological sources. It is known as archaeological sources. Okay, sources of history is divided into following types. Number one is archaeological sources. The second one is known as literary, literary sources. Okay, the third one is known as, okay, foreign and foreign's, okay, foreign travelers, travelers, travelers accounts. Now, if you look at the board, you'll find these are known as archaeological sources, which I have taught you. Okay, these archaeological sources are basically physical remains of the past. Okay, our ancestors have left behind the things they love the most, okay, buried under the earth. These things are basically pots, tools, weapons, etc., which has been buried deep inside the earth. Now, what are literary sources? Okay, now whenever we are talking about literary sources, it is any written document in the form of manuscripts or pillar inscriptions or tablets, etc., or okay, rock paintings, etc., or parchments of leaves, parchments of skin, as well as writings of the leaves are known as literary sources. So anything that is written is known as literary sources. What are foreign travelers' accounts? So many foreigners came to India in the past, and they wrote stories of the kings and kings as well as society they visited during that period. So they had foreign accounts, or foreigners came to India and wrote a story about our what we call culture, civilization, as well as kings who ruled this particular area during that period. So these are known as what we call sources of history that we will be studying in the next class in detail. Thank you for listening. Hope you find this lesson useful.